So, hello and welcome to this final episode of Itras By. I am very excited, even more so because I had to cancel pretty much all my commitments last week due to a terrible illness, and now have to compensate for that with an extra great session for this one. So I'm very much looking forward to that. We ended our last session in the middle of Greta von Eisenbach playing an extremely beautiful piece as Joseph's wishes. And actually, I think also perhaps this is we also witnessed the first time Joseph has been intimate to a person in an emotional way, perhaps. So that was pretty interesting. We also saw some very weird dream stuff with some dreams within dreams. And yeah, all around it was a good time. Maybe we can have like around the table actually to let you sum up what the most important thing that happened to your character was during that session, just for secure that my selective memory is not all the way off. We can start with the PI. What was something interesting and important that happened to the PI session? You're muted.
The PI and the monologue kept getting hit a lot last time. I do remember that. So I think if I remember, we've got the PI is convinced that there is something up with Joseph and his soul and wants to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, and you are on quite a few assignments at once as well.
Yep.
You are both on the assignment from Maud to find out what's going on with the tattoo of Frida. And also, I guess, from Joseph to steal, I don't know if that actually happened now or not, if that's resolved, but to steal the heart of Greta. Literally, I think. But I'm not sure. Up to interpretation. Yeah, and what about Frida?
Well, Frida had, I don't even remember if it was last time or before that, the weird maze dream where she killed the blue bird of happiness.
That was last time, yes.
Unintentionally, of course, since Frida is a good person. And then she convinced the PI to research Maud for her in turn. Didn't she also give the wrong dream to Joseph? I think yes, and he ingested it. And then there was a very nice childhood scene with her twin and kittens.
Oh yeah, that's true. And yeah, you did kill the bluebird of happiness. It also turned up in your tattoo of the maze that you were inside.
Yes.
What's going on with that tattoo, I wonder?
Weird tattoo.
And Joseph?
So I remember obviously the last scene when Josip was touched by the most beautiful musical piece ever created on Earth. But I also remember walking through the ape garden, I think, if that is a thing, with Kasha. I don't know if we if the monkey revolution was touched last time, like a little bit in the scene with these two, with Martin and the other monkey. And I do remember that Josip wanted to go back with Hans Gustav, who somehow is, because I think he wrote about the heroic monkeys and that they trust him more than they would Josip.
Yeah, that's true. And we did not see a lot of the monkeys. Surprisingly little revolutionary monkeys last time.
But maybe they are. I mean, the opera that Josip wants to put together has a revolutionary monkey as the main character, so that might, advance the cause.
Also, you spent most of last time in dreams, so I guess they are not so present there in your dreams, at least. I guess they have dreams of their own. Who thought of revolution? Cool.
Actually, I just remembered that Frida never actually woke up from her dream. I don't.
Yeah. That was the. I think you woke up in the. No, you didn't, did you? Yeah, that's true.
I thought Frida woke up at the end.
Yeah, she discovered she was in the dream for most of the session because she didn't really wake up when she went out of the maze. She just went somewhere else and in the same dream. Well, good. I think actually we because the PI was not in a dream last time, was he?
PI doesn't dream. So if I remember correctly, you had one of Frida's potions, and that's when going back into one of Frida's memories. Is that right?
Yeah.
The PI doesn't dream, so he sort of investigated Frida's dreams.
Yeah, that's true. We were kind of like angling. I was angling a little bit to maybe see PI's dreams, and then he went into Frida's dreams instead. Well, I think actually we start this episode by being in the monologue stream then. Because who is the monologue anyway? I think you see, I don't know, maybe actually, I think you see the monologue looking at the invisible monologue, of course, so you don't really see it, but you see it from the monologue's perspective, looking at the PI sleeping. How does that sound? Because you don't snore, do you?
The monologue is likely to describe it. So, the PI slept sound like a baby but snored like a pig.
Yeah, actually, I think we don't. I don't think that monologue dreams either, but it definitely doesn't hang around for looking at PI sleeping. What does the monologue do when the PI is sleeping?
I don't know. I'm looking for help. What does the monologue do when the PI is sleeping?
Okay, I think you see like the monologue from. I think you see from the monologue's perspective, it leaving the private investigator office and going down a street. And you see the changing of districts from the alleys of the hill down to the Black Bay. and there is where it finds a monkey lying on a corner with a wide brimmed tall hat. It seems to have been a nice hat once upon a time, but now it's all dusty and full of mud. And I think like some of the fabric on the top is kind of coming loose.
Mm-hmm.
I think actually you see that the monkey has a scar across its throat, and when the monologue comes, you see the monkey like smile and nod, and then the monologue starts singing like this sad song about the police state and workers being ignored on a corner in Black Bay. And I think at that moment, Joseph, you were walking by. Do you recognize the voice?
Well, do we? When the PI speaks, we only hear the monologue, do we? So I think I've because Josip has a trained ear, and he can see the speaking voice through the singing voice, but still he's astonished how beautiful the voice actually sound. So I stop and wait until the song is over.
Yeah, and I think you see that there's been like a bit of a crowd that has gathered around, and there's quite a bit of monkeys among them, and they're all I think most of them are like crying, but you see and you recognize this monkey. This is Martin, and he's standing there with I think actually like he's wearing one of those same hats that the monkey that the PI's monologue is singing for has, except it's a little bit nicer. Maybe he stole it from the nice home that he used to work. And you just see him look at the monkey sitting there and saying, "We monkeys, we need to find our own voice." And he like shouts, and you hear like the other monkeys around there. They're like, "Yes, we need to find our own voices. No more monologues for us." What do you do?
So if the monologue is still singing, then Josip would sing a counterpoint and trying to imitate the, I don't know, do the monkeys have like a certain, I don't know, accent or way of speaking or some traceable sound?
I think they don't really have any like accent, but they seem to have like this. In general, they have this like very rich and deep voice. All of them seem to have that in common.
Yeah, so Josip will definitely play like a bass or baritone tone, countering some harmonies of the monologue, trying to I don't know what's it called, like trying to sway the monkeys a little bit or like seduce them into liking the song, which is not theirs.
Cool action card.
Mm-hmm. No, but the character fails, but another positive thing happens instead, unrelated to what she was aiming for.
I think we cut back to the PI sleeping, and I think like we hear like from like it's almost like it's there, but it seems to be also far away at the same time. Like we see the camera like over the PI's bed, the PI snoring, and you hear like this beautiful sound of a piano, almost like it came from a dream. But it couldn't, could it? But because the PI doesn't dream. And I think we cut to Frida. Where is Frida at this nightly hour?
That's a good question. She's probably, she should probably be at home because she needs to be at work tomorrow. So, I think she may be in her room concocting some kind of dream potions.
Yeah, because the night is the best time to work for a dream maker, isn't
Yeah.
it? What kind of dream are you making?
Yeah, except I don't know for sure. Maybe she is working on a dream potion for herself again, because she had this strange encounter with the dream ending after she thought it had.
Yeah.
I think she's trying to investigate what happened.
Yeah. You got some of the tears from the happy bluebird, didn't you?
Yes, that exactly. And I think Frida puts one of those tears into the potion, and also one of a hair of her own, just so it's a potion for herself, but also has a bit of the bird.
Yeah, and I think you see like the potion make like a little bit of a strange like fizzing sound, almost like it's reacting in some way, and it turns first all blue, and then you see like this golden strain of your hair swirling down in it. Looks very pretty, but you've never seen it before.
That's strange, and that it reacts to the hair is so strange that indeed I take a drop of the potion and put it onto my tattoo.
Okay, I think maybe actually this is a chance card.
Okay.
It's very random. Let's go.
Oh, it's the rumor mill again.
Oh no.
Gossip spreads fast. Tell a rumor about the scene in progress to the person on your left. Rumors retold from player to player, and each time something is changed and exaggerated. By the time the gossip reaches back to you, it has become true. What is the rumor? I think about the scene in progress. I think the rumor is that the tattoo I have is somehow connected to the monkey revolution. And it may be causing it even. Which I'm telling to the person on my left, which is, well, I guess David.
So, what I heard is that tattoo is actually a map in the sewers to the prison where the King of the Monkeys is being kept.
Ooh.
And so the last step is, can you read the last part? So
Yeah, by the time the gossip reaches back to me, it has become true. So what you exaggerate now is the truth.
So the Monkey King has tattooed a way out of the prison onto your skin when he was dreaming.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice.
Interesting. Okay. I think we cut actually there, and we go back to the PI. You wake up. It's in the middle of the night. You usually don't wake up at this hour. You also hear this this music, and you're pretty sure that you dreamt, but you don't remember what. What do you do?
So, PI rubs their stubbled face and looks at the empty bottle of the dream draft and thinks, "Wow, that's potent stuff." He goes over to a collection of jazz records and pulls out a record which reminds him of the song. It's not quite the same, and he can't get the tune out of his head, and the monologue sort of starts. In fact, no, the PI sort of hums a couple of beats from the song. I can't quite get it out of his head. The monologue is surprised that the PI is humming. Still, this shouldn't keep the PI from the business that they are dealt with, or should it? I don't know. The PI is confused and thinks that he's having bad come down from the dream draft and needs to seek out Frida.
Yeah. Meanwhile, down at in the Black Harbor, I think, yeah. What? So you're trying to calm to get the monkeys on other ideas, weren't you, Joseph?
Yeah. So the idea was that Martin said that they shouldn't listen to other voices, but find their own voice. And so Joseph was trying to seduce them to accept the song of the monologue to spur them into action or to guide them.
Mm-hmm. I think what happens is that in all the like excitement, I think like you instead of them being inspired, there's more of like a tussle going on. Like everyone is speaking in each other's mouths, and I think there's like there's been fighting starting. Someone hit someone, and then everything like started to escalate. And I think we cut probably like to a small time skip, and to Joseph like crawling out of the Black Harbor, and you see like behind him is like a full street fight, and like things getting thrown around, and you hear I think like as you do that, you hear like the the sound of the song like swooshing by you, almost as if it's running back to towards the. Oh, it seems to be in the direction of the private investigator office, actually.
Yeah. So Yusuf has this I don't know, like a white tiger fur coat, and obviously it's now dirtied up and torn at places, and he sits there holding his head and re-evaluates his life choices. The beautiful song that Greta sang, his failed, like his instinct when he sees this poor monkey on the ground is to manipulate them, and it's all because of his vanity and egoistic, view on the world. And he knows that the reason why that is his pact with the devil. And so I think he goes to the office of the PI to get rid of the pact somehow, kill the devil, whatever the PI will know. You're muted.
Yeah, I think you come to, when you go to the office of the PI, you see that like on a distance that the PI is leaving, walking the opposite direction of where you're coming from. The PI, are you going to Frida's house, or where are you planning to find her?
I think, yeah, it's middle of the night, so I'm working the principle that the PI thinks that Frida is probably at home. So yeah, I'm going to go to where Frida lives.
Yeah, and Josip is following him, like shadowing him, or walking behind him at a distance.
Yeah, there's Frida. You have this vial of this beautiful like dream vial in front of you, and it feels like making it was very significant in a way, but you don't know how.
Mm-hmm. Well, Frida looks at the vial and she used to think she would actually use the potion immediately, but now she puts it into a shelf, I think, higher up in her room, and looks at it from below and wonders why it looks so blue and why it sparkles like this. And I think she goes to lie down on the bed and consider the whole thing a bit when I guess there's a knock, something like that.
Yeah, do you knock on the door, the PI? Is that your preferred way of knocking?
I think so. The PI knocks at the door.
Oh, well, Frida goes to the shelf and retrieves the vial and puts it. Oh, I guess she's wearing a dress, and puts it into her fist and goes to the door and opens it. Is the PI with his his inner monologue?
I think so. The PI, so Frida is confronted by the PI. The PI has stubble on their face and wide eyes, looks at Frida and staggers slightly, wondering what that lady slipped into his dream potion. Maybe Frida is the bad one and Maud's been the good one all along.
No. Remind me how he actually got the potion.
Frida was playing dumb. She couldn't remember giving the PI the potion.
I mean, did she?
I think so.
Oh my.
She convinced the PI to take it.
Oh, that's true. Oh my. Was there some kind of adverse reaction? I always take care to. Oh no. What happened? What did you dream of your childhood?
The PI looked at Frida and thought, no, I dreamt of Frida and Maud's childhood. I know that there's something strange going on between them.
That's odd. That's very odd. But maybe this can help us. I have also found out something. Indeed, my tattoo that you were supposed to investigate has done some strange things. And she shows him. Is the bird still visible?
Yeah, I think actually when you look at it, there's something else there too. There's like this this man in a gray suit walking around in it.
Oh, this may be because I put something on it. Does this help the investigation in any way? She asked the PI.
PI takes a magnifying glass from his pocket and looks at the grey figure in the tattoo.
Yeah, right. Just like it looks, it's a man in a gray suit. You see, he also has gray eyes, gray hair, and very like bleak, almost grayish skin. I think actually you can see. You can also like, even though you're using a magnifying glass, somehow you also hear better. Who knows how this works? And you hear his breath sounds like two grains of sand getting pushed against each other on the bottom of the ocean. And there's also you can smell this smell of burnt wood. It's very strong.
All of that will come out in monologue as the PI was experiencing it. Then the PI looks back at Frida, and I'm sure there was something to do with Frida's mother last time as well. Can't remember. It's got it on my head.
It was some kind of newspaper, isn't there?
Frida's mother works for the police, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Was it, or was it Maud was dating one of the?
She works for the police.
Yeah.
She's actually the reason she didn't answer the door is that she's working tonight.
It's probably because of the monkey rides.
Maybe. I think you what are you doing, Joseph? You see this conversation going on in the doorway of Frida's house.
Oh.
I think also you can smell this smell of burnt wood, and you definitely recognize this. This is the smell of the devil.
So Josip obviously hesitates, makes maybe a hesitant step towards the two of them. And then puts all his courage together and walks up to, I don't know, walks up to them. I don't know, enters the house, I guess.
I think as you walk up, you both the both of the rest of you see the man in the suit like look up and with like this dissatisfied look on his face, and then you see just like this. There's like this small sound of like a poof, and there's like a small cloud of smoke coming up from the tattoo.
Oh, he's probably gone now.
The smell is very strong, though. Very strong.
Josip, how did you get here? Why is everybody at my place?
I'm sorry, Frida. I just followed the PI. I have very important business. Probably we have to go to his office. Maybe but before that, this stench. It's the stench of hell. Where does it come from? It's coming from your arm, doesn't it?
It may be my tattoo. We found a strange person in it. A gray man. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes.
I think when you put like the tattoo up, it's glowing red.
Oh.
I heard the most outrageous rumor, by the way, that this is a map.
A map? A map to a maze?
Apparently to some kind of prison.
How? Where did you hear that? People talk all kinds of things. I'm sure it's just crazy talk.
But so the stench from the devil, he whispers, comes from your tattoo?
Yes, I believe it does. If you say it's the devil, I have no idea how you should know, but...
A memory floods back to the PI, and he grabs Frida's arm and looks at it again, remembering the dream that he experienced. Thinking and wondering, he saw Frida take dreams and turn them into ink.
Right.
And looks at the ink on Frida's arm and wonders, is this where this came from? Is this dreams painted on Frida's arms? And if so, whose dreams did she steal or were stolen for her?
I'm not a thief. That's what you're insinuating. This tattoo appeared on my arm one morning, and I have nothing to do with it. Except, well, maybe not consciously, at least.
The PI wonders, looking at it, if there's a tattoo here on Frida, who else would know about it other than Maud? Does Maud have her own tattoo? Or did she paint it? Or did, it looks at Frida, did the devil teach both of them this black art?
Oh my. Joseph, you know about the devil, apparently. What do you say? Is it possible?
I don't like to use that word, to be honest. And I definitely don't want to talk about it. Not and he looks around. Not here. And also, I've heard that the PI has a very good bourbon.
So, well, can I come?
You have to come. You have the map.
Oh, I see. Right. Well then, let's get going to the office.
I think we cut to when you walk into the office and you hear the typewriter shouting loudly about a rumor of a missing king of the monkeys, rumored to be captured in a tattoo of an unknown female. It's very mysterious. Very mysterious.
Oh my.
The PI hangs up his hats on the hat rack, opens the door, and rolls his eyes. He goes over to the bourbon. It's not good. In fact, it's decidedly cheap. Then he realizes he's done quite well with expenses and pulls out the good bottle for his friends.
Oh no.
Now are you taking the expensive bottle now?
Yeah, he pours 3 glasses and one for the typewriter,
It's Citrus friends.
and takes a moment to wonder how it is. No matter what happens, there's always a crazy dame, a guy, and a devil.
That's a good mystery, says the typewriter.
And Joseph leans in and nods back to the typewriter. Can we trust them?
Great suggestion. I might take you up on that.
So, Joseph, you were about to tell us about the devil.
Why don't you always have to say his name?
Is that his name?
And
I
I
thought
think
he had a
you
name too.
see the typewriter like D, E, V, I, L, all in caps.
So the typewriter is in the ante room, or whatever it's called.
The reception, yeah.
The reception. I think Josip closes the door.
Yeah.
Takes a sip from the not so bad bourbon, and says in a quiet voice, I don't know how to say that, but I'm a bad person, always been. I'm also really intelligent, and that is a bad combination. So if you have evil intent and you really want to be famous and talented, and you have the urge to, impress other people, then, well, you have to become an actor or an opera singer. But how do you do that when you're really untalented? Well, my grandmother told me that if you do a certain ritual, the devil will come to you and he will grant you all your wishes. You just have to sell your soul. And it didn't seem like a big deal at that time. And to be honest, I really had a good time. But now I feel like I'm in a road without any more doors. It's the end. Like, maybe I create the best piece of art ever created, but if I can't feel it, what is it worth? But anyways, I digress. So I think we can.
No, that's a very touching story.
I know. Thank you. We need to find the devil, and I think that we have this other deal, PI, with Greta. Forget about it. I'll pay you the expenses as soon as the opera is out.
PI sips back on the bourbon, has been thinking and listening, and then rubs his chin. PI wondered, is there a way to outwit the devil? If he could create or inspire the greatest piece of art ever made, and the devil didn't own it, the devil wanted more than Joseph's soul. He took a
Frida
moment.
grips her a vial tighter.
Takes a moment to drink the drink and wonders, what would the devil dream of if the best, most beautiful dream that ever been made was made for the devil? He looked at the two visitors at his office and felt there was a plan.
Well, I, for one, have a suggestion. Maybe if he drank a dream made from the tears of the bluebird of happiness, it may be a new experience for him, at least. I wouldn't say it's the most beautiful artwork ever created, but I think it's one of my best dreams yet.
I think a paper slides under the door, and it's the paper the typewriter just wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Just says devil.
Joseph makes a paper plane and throws it out of the window.
Once it gets out of the window, it catches fire, and you feel the smell of the burnt wood again.
Just shudders. We need to sort this out, and soon. So, PI, you're saying that we need to somehow give this dream to the devil?
The PI was thinking, but the body was humming those three notes from this song, pondering. The PI thinks that if we could slip this dream or exchange the dream with the devil, then maybe the devil will give back Joseph's soul. But we're going to have to, thinks the PI, we're going to have to sell this. Who and what beyond the bluebird of happiness would make this the best dream that has ever been made?
Well, Joseph, you sold the devil your soul. Is there anything you know about that he really is after? Why would he want your soul? What's in your soul that he's so interested in?
I don't know. I think I have to, because when I don't have a soul and I die, I need to serve the devil and sing him the best songs.
Well, maybe he likes singing.
Maybe the song of the bluebird will actually, I don't know, soften his heart.
Possibly. Well,
The PI, you remember the distinct sound of two sand grains grinding together.
Two what? Oh, the sand grains. Hmm. The PI remembers the sound of the sand grains rubbing together and the three notes of the song that they woke up humming. The PI had never hummed before. This was too much of a coincidence. The PI poured a bourbon and decided we had to figure out what was that song.
Well, I mean, Josip has obviously encyclopedial knowledge of music. So, do I remember this three tones?
Of course you do. It is the song that Greta composed. I mean, it's just the three first tones, but it's definitely a song. Couldn't be any other one.
So
How could it
this
be
is.
though? It only happened in a dream, and the PI doesn't dream.
I mean, I think that true art transcends reality and dreams alike. It's much more fundamental than this. So, I don't know. Maybe we have to go into the labyrinth somehow.
oh. Well,
Fine.
maybe.
Yeah, fine. I'll go on.
Well, I'm not sure how we should enter it, except drink a little bit of this dream I concocted from the tears of the bluebird, and a bit of myself, but not all of it, because we might need it later.
I think you start hearing like the sound of like people and monkeys in the distance, and now you definitely also smell the smell of burnt wood. Except it seems different, less old.
I think the monkey revolution started. Sounds like.
And I think the devil may be closer than we expected.
I think that's a good place to go to a break. Let's grab a 10-minute break here. Be back at 10 past.
Okay.
So, see you guys.
Okay, we're back. I think we are, I guess, at the same place we left. You're looking at this vial. I think this is the first time the both of you other two take a look at it. Or have you seen it previously?
Yeah, definitely for Josip the first time.
I think as you like take it up, you see this strain of hair. Once you look at it, it seems like it's not really hair at all. It's almost like it's sand falling down from the top to the bottom, like gold sand. And it's like floating, like in the same way that the hair falls, but it's definitely not the hair anymore.
Oh. Well, we need to find a way to get this to the devil, I think. Josip, you said you knew a ritual. Or maybe we should go to the devil if he is with these riots. The way it smells.
I think the PI has to decide. He's the professional. How do you find the devil?
You find the devil, thought the PI, in a place where they play the devil's music. And the whiskey is cheap, and the room is full of people with broken hearts.
Sounds like the steam cutter.
The PI looked at Joseph and thought, there's almost no one there whose heart Joseph hasn't broken, including mine.
Josip reaches over the desk and touches the PI's cheek and says, "I'm so sorry."
The PI. Oh,
Go
no, go.
You heard about this, the steam cutter. Apparently, the rival establishment of the smoke cutter, where instead of smoking Cuban cigars, they're not smoking at all. They're actually it's the residue from the tears of their customers that makes the whole locale pretty steamy. It's down in the basement in the Mint Knoll. People just says it's probably like a warm. Maybe there's some kind of like underground lake that's warm or something close to there. But I don't know. No one has ever found it. It just seems very hot there all the time. Maybe it's close to hell.
This is hell.
There wasn't any place the PI couldn't find. That's what they were good at. We knew the smell of the devil's wood burning. And there were almost no places in Church Hill where there wasn't smoke rising.
Indeed, it wasn't. It seems like the riot has come to you, and I think you hear the entry door getting smashed in, and the screaming of your typewriter. Extremely surprised by someone walking into the room.
Oh my! I'm glad we didn't do this at my place.
and you hear the typewriter scream, "Just take the bourbon. It's not really that expensive. It's just not the cheapest."
PI kicked open the door and rose his fingers. No one was taking his bourbon.
Yeah, and I think in front of you, you see there is this man. He is. Are you tall, PI?
Average.
Well, let's say he's probably about. Your head reaches about to his top of his chest. And he looks down at you. He has a beard, big like red beard, and a red hair as well. He looks down at you, and you notice that he has a white and blue striped shirt and a big tattoo of an anchor on his arm. You again, and he smacks you in the face.
Sounds familiar.
So the PI's face turns slightly as the fist hits him. One thing you've got to realize, thought the PI, is the PI can't be beaten up in their own office. The fiction just doesn't allow it.
What do the rest of you do at seeing this?
Josip is probably already half out of the window, trying to, climb down.
Yeah, and I think you noticed that the PI's office is on the ground floor because, of course, they can't afford an office on the second floor. That's for the people with money in the businesses.
So this awkward moment where he used the cord of the shutters to climb down, but it's just half a meter that he has to actually to bridge, and so he's outside standing on the pavement and looking for a penny farthing or some other bicycle to steal.
I think the only bicycle you can find there is a motorcycle.
Oh my.
It seems like the news people all leave them around everywhere.
Yeah, so I think Josip jumps on the motorcycle and flees to the steam cutter.
Yeah, and also surprisingly, the motorcycle is very good to go between people riding, much easier than a regular bike. You, Frida, you see the big red-haired hipster taking the bottle of whiskey and saying to the monologue, "What kind of fiction? What are you talking about? I'm just taking your whiskey now and leaving the room."
For God's sake, just let him take the whiskey. It's just a bottle of whiskey. What are we gonna do? Unless you have a gun.
The PI shuts the door to the office. From the outside, you can just see the two men fighting and wrestling, their shadows striking each other back and forth. There's a wrestle, a shout, and then the bearded man's head goes through the glass window. The bottle of bourbon rolling across the floor. PI comes out, picks it up, straightens his tie. Here in the office, everything's black and white, even the black and white shiner and the blood on his face. He mops it clear, takes a mouthful, puts on his hat and coat, and said, "No one takes my whiskey."
What I see.
Yeah, I think you just hear the groan from the person. He's clearly out of it. What do you do, Frida?
Shouldn't we go after Josip? He knows how to find the devil and talk to him.
The PI looks at Frida, but wonders how this redhead hipster came here and what they were looking for.
Well, I'm sure it's just a riot. Well, maybe you have a point. And Frida opens the door and walks out resolutely and asks, "What the hell are you doing here, everyone? This is the PI office. There's nothing to loot here except... there's nothing to loot here."
I think you stand face to face with the monkey. He has a green kind of like cap, and he looks over to who says anything about looting. We're looting spirits, not objects. That is a real revolution. We're Marxists, not capitalists. Don't you understand?
All right, so you would take the whiskey without its bottle, or are you talking about people's spirits? In fact,
I think he doesn't give you the courtesy of answering that because he's busy making a revolution, and he just like takes his. I think he has like a banner actually, and shouts in the street, "Take their spirits. That's all they have."
I think there's a bottle of cheap bourbon in there too.
The PI looks at the monkey and thinks to himself, "They've come for the typewriter, the one I took from the infinite room. They can't have her." And he faces the monkey down.
You took the typewriter. Oh my.
Yeah, I think we probably like smash cut actually to like 10 minutes later where there is like this pretty good amount of people outside the PI's office all knocked out, and the PI is standing in front of it. I think like the riot has moved on. There's like a big collection of monkeys, women and men. Most of them, at least the ones that are human, seem to be tattooed. Apparently, it's very hip to be in a revolution these days. Also, there is this one. I think it's actually. I think one of them is actually Frank, and he's like, but he's just sobbing.
Oh, Frank from Ellie's house. Do I know him, or is he just known to the PI?
I think you all know him because you all saw Hans Gustav turn into Frank.
And Frank was also in my dream, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to Frank, and I think I am handing him a handkerchief and ask him what is wrong.
Look at this. It's only destruction.
Yes, but Didn't you start the riots? Wasn't it you who wanted this?
I wanted a revolution. What is this?
Well, it can lead to a revolution.
How? This is just violence and destruction.
Well, that's true.
Is this what freedom is like?
No, actually, it's not. As far as I can tell. There must be another way.
Frank gets up and he says, well, this is nothing like what I dreamt about. Nothing.
Well, what did you dream about?
He takes a deep sigh and says, it doesn't matter anymore.
The PI looked at Frida and thought, if only she could extract the idealist dream of a Marxist monkey, how beautiful this must be.
And Frida, has he used the handkerchief?
Yeah, I think at this moment, actually, while the PI is saying that, Frank is drying some tears from his eyes.
Well, Frida says, "Oh, I just remembered that I have a terrible cold, and I think I may have to sneeze. Could you hand me my handkerchief back for a second?"
This sounds like an action card, actually.
Okay. Yes, but the character succeeds, but something completely unrelated goes wrong. Or the character or someone she cares about.
Yeah, I think you get the handkerchief back, and he just like looks at you disappointedly. You know, I actually thought you were one of the good ones, Frida. But you're just taking this to exploit my dream, aren't you?
And as she was going to put it into her pocket, she freezes and looks at Frank and the PI back and forth, and is a bit unsure. I actually thought so too. I mean, that I'm one of the good people. But, I mean, I would like to help you to be free and realize your dream, but we could also use your dream for something good, to help other people. It doesn't have to be a zero-sum game, you know. We could both benefit from your dream.
Trickle-down economy. He shakes his head, and I've heard this story before. And he turns around and walks away.
Oh no. I've done something terrible again.
So, meanwhile, Joseph, where are you going on your unicycle?
So dodging the rioting monkeys and Seaman, I'm heading for the steam cutter.
Yeah, I think you see the steam cutter is actually an old like one of these Mississippi steamboats that went on shore. So the place is except, you know, it's a little bit weird because it's on the hill, and how the hell did it get there? Who knows? And also it's partway into the mountain, very unexplainable. But there it is. And you see someone coming out the door. It's a big fat a man in a suit and a bowler hat. And as he leaves, steam rises from the door as he opens it and closes it behind him. And you hear like the sulking of sad rich men inside.
That sounds like the place to be. And I go inside.
Yeah, inside you see there it literally looks like it looks like the inside of like a ship. It's remarkable how is it really a ship, or did they build it like this? It's strange. The bar is like round. It goes. It's like one of these circles that has like the bottles in the middle. It goes all the way up to the roof, and there's people in smokings delivering the drinks out. The ones delivering it out have black smokings, and the bartenders have white. And they're all terribly overstaffed. So many people here. There's almost like there's one bartender for every 2 people in this bar, and it's pretty full. Yeah, they have cocktails.
Yeah, well, Josip thinks again. He's looking for cheap whiskey and broken hearts. Does the place look anything like that?
I mean, I'm sure the prices here are not cheap, but you know, just because it's expensive doesn't mean it has taste.
And I mean, Josip has seen broken hearts before. I mean, he actually spent some time above a broken heart factory and broke some heart on his own. So, is this the right place?
It has a weird feel. This place. It's almost like, you know, you feel the despair of a place that is full with broken hearts, but it's almost like it's number. You know, like there was no love to begin with. It's a strange feeling. But it's definitely sad, though.
It's a sad place for sure. Does it smell like burnt wood?
I mean, you're not completely sure. Like going through that big crowd of people where the houses were burning, it feels like everything smells like burnt wood. This place too, but I mean, most of all, it smells like the saltiness of tears. You know, dissolved into the air in steam.
I think yeah, Josip, I go to the bar and order a whiskey and maybe wait for the PI and Frida to catch up with him.
Yeah, and I think the bartender like says, "Oh, sir, whiskey with what?"
With ice, please.
No, we don't serve whiskey with ice. You can get whiskey with 2 drops of water if you want, or perhaps a bourbon with some squeezed dreams in it. It's very trendy these days.
I had a pretty terrible experience with dreams.
But these are dreams of pelicans.
I'll have one of those. A whiskey with squeezed pelican dreams, please.
Yeah, and I think like the bartender goes to the bottle cabinet, takes out a very cheap whiskey. You recognize it, of course. It's in a fancy bottle, but you're not being fooled by this. And he takes like a bottle that's pink and has a pelican head. Actually, the pelican is making sound, and he's like shaking it down in the glass. While this is going, this takes a while actually, because getting pelican streams out of a pelican's throat is not something that goes very quickly. Maybe this is why there are so many people working here. Frida and the PI comes in to the room. There's a terrible noise of a pelican. Seems like it's being killed or something. I don't know. Also, you get almost suffocated by the hot steam that hits your face walking into the bar.
I wave them over.
Oh, there he is. That was a bold escape you made.
Yeah, I hate violence.
Well, who doesn't? Well, except him. But of course, only in the service of bourbon.
I think I found just the drink for us. It is cheap whiskey and it is squeezed pelican dreams.
Pelican dreams. Dreams about pelicans or pelicans?
Joseph points at the squeezed pelican. It's of pelicans.
Yeah, the bartender says, "Oh, no, obviously we would never take people's dreams about pelicans away from them. That would be extremely inhumane. Only pelicans' dreams here." And you see like the terrified face of the pelican being shaken into the glass.
It's not very pelican friendly, though.
Oh, no pelicans are allowed in this bar. Oh, except ingredients, of course.
Well, I've never had pelican dreams.
He puts the glass on the counter to Joseph and says, that would be $99.99, please. It's a bargain, under $100.
The PI smiles and takes out a crisp $100 bill and passes it over. Smiles, goes, "Ha! Little does Maud know this is going on her expenses."
Oh, it's Maud's money. Well then, I have one on the PI's bill.
He gives you 1 cent back and starts doing the same procedure again. The pelican looks very tired. Well, I think like one hour later, there's 3 glasses of whiskey and pelican dreams on the counter. The bartender looks terribly tired. This seems to be as much as he's worked in a long time.
That's why they're so expensive.
So Joseph raises his glass. Well, to finding the you know who.
And you really think this is the best way to find him? I mean, or is this just some kind of a fun excursion?
Well, let's try the whiskey first and then decide.
Okay, if you think we have the time, it's your soul. Okay.
Who takes the first drink?
I mean, Joseph is waiting for an hour now to have his drink. He will definitely clink with the other glasses and then take a big gulp.
Seems like an action card to me.
See. Help is needed. Jeez. The character ends up understanding that she needs the help of someone not currently in the scene to achieve his aim. Oh.
Yeah, I think actually maybe the devil. I think you realize that you have already made a deal with the devil and you need to be invited. Do the rest of you drink it also?
Yes, Frida drinks it as well. She takes a careful sip. And it tastes a little strange, a bit like feathers. Alright, as she imagines feathers to taste like.
Yeah, and feathers taste very differently than you thought as well. It's like overly sweet, strange.
Weird.
And I think, I think you see, Joseph, you see the both of them falling asleep. And I think like you feel the emptiness of your heart very strongly at this moment.
So, yeah.
And in front of you in the bar, there is a man in a gray suit, suddenly looking at you.
So I think Joseph takes off his very ostentatious hat with I don't know, like an ostrich feather or something, and he says, "Well, we meet again then."
Yes, we meet again.
I would like to renegotiate the deal, revoke Article 666, so to speak.
I don't remember any Article 666 in our contract. Furthermore, I already got what I wanted from you. You don't have a heart. What can you give me?
I have an experience for you that is something that you haven't experienced before. It must be boring to just, get these souls.
Boring. One soul. It's another one for my cabinet.
But then it's like, I mean, your cabinet is full, but maybe you want something else, something that is sparkling and inspiring and new.
And you look, I think you see this, see the devil, his face grayer than usual, his gray eyes looking at you, saying, what makes you think I want anything interesting? I just want numbers in my cabinet.
At this moment,
file. Yeah.
Frida is still asleep, but her fist in her forearm drop forward, and her fist opens to reveal the small vial and the tattoo on her forearm. She's still asleep though.
Oh yeah, and I think you see actually on the tattoo you see both the PI and Frida. Strange, isn't it? And the devil looks at them. I am confused. Are we in a dream and they are in the labyrinth, or what's going on? And what's that?
Joseph picks up the vial, shakes it a little bit, and he says, "This is the good stuff. I mean, this is something so rare and so pure that even the devil hasn't tasted it."
Yeah, I think we could cut to Frida and the PI. You find yourself in like this big hallway, and it's filled with cabinets with numbers and small locks on them. And I think you can see there is monkeys walking around here, like with with piles of paper, putting them into the cabinets in a very orderly fashion, locking the cabinet doors after them, looking very dreary and tired. What do you do?
I think I go over to one of the monkeys and touch it on the shoulder and ask it, "Well, can you tell us where we are? I'm sorry."
He looks up at you with bleak eyes and says, "You're in hell."
This is hell. Oh, I hope we can leave somehow. I hope we can leave by waking up.
The monkey shakes his head. There's no leaving hell.
But this is just a dream for us, you see.
He puts takes a big pile of papers and puts it into a filing cabinet, and looks at you. You have nice and soft hands. They will soon be filled with paper cuts.
Oh, that's bleak.
Yes. You're in hell after all.
I'm sorry you're treated so badly in here.
You're gonna be treated just as bad.
Is there anything I can do to help?
He nods over to another big piece of paper. This needs to be filed over in cabinet 741. It's on the other side of hell.
Oh. Well, Frida picks up the pile of paper and starts leafing through it idly.
It is a little bit hard to. It's just a lot of numbers, and it seems like it's like checks and balances of some sort, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's some names somewhere, and then just a lot of like numbers with balances.
Probably names I don't recognize.
Take an action card.
Oh. No, but the character fails, but another positive thing happens instead, unrelated to what she was aiming for.
What is the PI doing?
Whilst Frida is being kind to the monkey, the PI is flipping through a Rolodex of lost souls and is looking for I've just lost the characters' names. Listing for our lost soul. So yeah, I'm trying to find. Oh, am I muted? Yeah, the PI is looking through a Rolodex and looking for where Joseph's soul is stored in hell.
In cabinet 666.
Derivative, thought the PI in an ironic way. The PI grabbed Frida by the wrist, looking for a moment at whether she had a tattoo of the tattoo while we were inside the tattoo.
Mind blown. I think actually she doesn't have a tattoo at this moment.
The PI pointed up to the signs on the wall that headed towards the 600 cabinets and took Frida by the arm and walked her in that direction. Don't trust a monkey. Talk to monkeys, and don't do their filing for them.
Well, but I don't think they're here by their own free will. I mean,
yeah, as the PI drag you along, you lose the grip of the pile of paper, and they fly everywhere. And you see monkeys jumping up and down in anger.
Oh no!
Not the files. They were all ordered. No.
I created more work for them. I'm so sorry.
And I think somewhere in hell, someone is putting something in the balance for Frida.
I was trying my best.
I think as you walk inwards, you feel this smell of burnt wood, and you come to like this big room. It's all empty. It only has like this big desk in the middle of it, and in front of the desk is this huge cabinet, cabinet 666.
Unsurprising, thought the PI, that Joseph's soul would need the biggest cabinet here.
Yeah, and I think we cut back to Joseph. The devil is looking at you. Something is amiss. You tricked me, didn't you, Joseph?
I just want to get my soul back, and I think trading this beautiful dream for my soul is not a trick. I mean, you can have a taste and then decide.
Very well, but you will have a taste as well. Seems only fair.
Fair enough. And Joseph snorts, like, what is it called? Is it snorting? Snorts the dream.
Yeah, and I think you see the face of Joseph turn gray, and the face of the devil turn blue for a second, and then they both fall asleep. The bartender is coming up and looks over at the blue-faced devil and says, "What? Who are you? You don't work here." And I think in pure reflex, the devil's hand goes out and hits the bartender in the face, and he falls over unconscious. And in the dream, I think how do you know that this is the devil's dream, Dave?
How do we know this is the devil's dream? Everyone in the devil's dream wears high heels, has horns on their head, and there's that musical song that we heard earlier playing in the background.
How do you know that this is very different from the dreams that the devil usually has, Tina?
Well, usually the devil has dreams where the floor is full of flames, and this time it isn't. It's usually much warmer, and the devil prefers warm, and it's kind of cold in here.
Yeah, and I think it's in this big garden. It is it's this it looks a bit like the tower of Nidra in Itras By, but it's overgrown by this big tree. You know, even a stranger, because the tower is pretty tall, but the tree and the roots are going all the way down over it, and it seems like it's been 1,000 years since there was anyone living here. but still there is still a garden, and everything is perfectly symmetrical, but it's cold, and you see like the roses of frost on every beautiful plant here. I think the devil turns towards you, Joseph, and says, "This seems like a trap. Why am I here? Why should I experience this?"
Well, let's walk through the garden and see what it will present you. I mean, this is made from a bluebird's tear or bluebird's tears. It must be special.
Oh, the bluebird. Yes, they arrived in a file 2 days ago. Seemed very sad.
I think it was an accident. I'm not sure though.
I'm not sure either. And he walks. Starts walking down a path in the garden. Do you walk after him?
Yes. Trying to keep up with him.
Yeah, he walks pretty quickly. He stops and says, "Well, why is there no other houses here? I don't know how this would be my dream. There's no people here. No people to take the souls from, to put in my cabinets."
But maybe that's what it's all about. Sometimes you need to stop to smell the roses.
But why? Why would I smell the roses?
And Joseph, approaches one of the roses and smells it. How does it smell?
I think it smells like a beautiful, clear night full with stars. It's pristine.
So you need to try for yourself. This is actually really beautiful.
He looks over to you, and like cocks his head, and says, "Beauty is vanity.
Oh,
I only care about numbers."
I know all about vanity. Maybe have a little sniff?
I think you can draw an action card.
No end. The character fails and something unrelated also goes wrong.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect time to cut back to hell. You're in front of this big filing cabinet. What do you do?
PI tries to open it.
It's like one big drawer that creaks when you shove it out, just like it's rusted or something. It's been open a long time, and there's like this big cloud of dust falling down from the top.
Does it open at all?
Yeah, it opens.
Yeah. It must have been a while since Joseph sold his soul. He doesn't look so old. Well, Frida goes looking for the file.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through the papers.
You don't have to look long. There's just one file in there.
Oh.
It's not very big either.
Well, she takes it out and opens it and shows it to the PI. I think we have found what we were looking for. What's inside?
The PI opens the file. Inside there is the contract with the devil, which has been written on a stained napkin from a bar. It has Joseph's signature on it, the fingerprint of the devil, and a dried stain from a whiskey glass.
Of course. Yeah, and I think what does it say, Joseph?
It says, hereby, I, Joseph Abendroth, sell my soul to the devil for the gift of granting the most beautiful piece of art once to everyone who I am intimate with.
Well, if we took this contract and destroyed it, would that be enough to annul the contract? What do you think, PI? You must know about contract issues.
PI looks at Frida and then looks back to the contract and remembers the one night that Joseph and the PI spent together. And the PI realizes that they can't dream and they can't create art. So the devil's breached the contract.
Yeah, and I think we, cut back to the other dream. The devil looks at you and says, "No, I never break my principles. I once said I would never pursue the avenues of vanity. Just as I promised you to give you this gift. I will not succumb to the weakness that made you the slave of me, Joseph."
Joseph sighs. I mean, I signed.
You did. And I don't know if what your plan is by having these people down in hell, but you know that the oral agreement is as binding as a written one, so they can destroy it as much as they want. Doesn't matter.
Joseph holds up his hands. This is not a trick or something. I really thought this dream might persuade you. I just want my soul back.
Yeah, and I want your soul, so we're at a stalemate. Except we aren't, because I have your soul and you don't.
This is so sad. What if I only do good things?
Good things?
Like help the monkeys, donate for charity, collect old paper and not throw it away, recycle glass.
I think the devil shrugs and says, "You know, I thought about this concept of, I don't understand why I exist sometimes. It is strange to think about that someone would make a devil to keep track of the amount of sins that people do when there is no God. But this is the way of Itras. And I don't care about all the good things you do. I just care about your sins.
But don't you want to be free and do whatever you want?
I am doing whatever I want, as bound by contract.
Maybe instead of collecting souls, you could collect really expensive whiskies.
I always found cheap whiskies to be as good expensive whiskies. It's just vanity. It makes you buy the expensive one instead.
I tell you what, I have a good idea. I know that this dream hasn't persuaded you, but what if I play for you something that warms your heart?
I think my heart is made of stone, but you can try if you want.
Just give me another week. I prepare something for you. And if I could melt your heart, although it is from stone, would you then give me my soul back?
Sure. If you don't, you give me the souls of your friends.
They're not mine to give.
Then there is no deal. This is your bargain.
But this brings me into a terrible situation. If I would be so cold as to sell the souls of my friends to you, would that make me even worse?
Worse than what?
Like worse than just not having a soul.
I don't know how to answer that. I never had a soul. Never missed it either.
I can ask them, but maybe the PI doesn't have a soul either. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think we cut back to the filing cabinet. How is the PI feeling at this moment? You're muted.
PI looks at Frida. Maybe this is enough to crack the case, he thinks.
Yes, I think we should leave.
Looks at Frida, hoping that she knows the way out of hell, because he sure as hell doesn't.
Well, maybe if we just try to wake up.
Seems like an action card.
And yeah, she tries to rub her eyes vigorously to see if that might help. So, what does the action card say? Yes, and the character succeeds and achieves more than she expected, perhaps even a bit too much.
Yeah, I think actually you both wake up. The same goes for Joseph and the devil, and you're all sitting there in the bar. And I think like the devil is like finishing a sentence, saying, "Well, it's either their souls or yours."
Oh.
And he looks over to you. Oh, what are you doing here?
We've been here all along.
Well, I'll see you by the end of the week.
Wait.
And I think he like evaporates into thin air. Only like forms falling down from the sky, or where he was standing.
Okay.
You also muted, Horst.
Just to be sure, I haven't sold your souls. It's just that the devil, he suggested that. So I suggested that if I could warm his heart with the incredibly awesome opera I'm planning,
Yes, of course.
which features the most amazing music that you could imagine. And that even warmed my heart, which was just a stone, just like his. So, anyways, if I could touch his heart with this piece of art, he would give me my soul back. Unfortunately, he said he would only agree if, in the case it doesn't, you would lose your soul as well. And I said, well, I can't agree to this unless you do.
Oh, so we have to decide.
I'm terribly sorry. I don't want to, like push you into this situation. If you have any better ideas, I'm all ears.
Well, maybe the PI has a point. It's quite interesting.
The PI has still got the napkin in their hands
Oh,
and passes it across to Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I signed this.
And wonders exactly which moment of great art does Joseph think the PI got from him.
This is brilliant. So the devil broke the contract. I'm free. Unless maybe you do have a talent.
let's hope not. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to diminish your PIing skills.
Well, that's not art. That's craft. Great craft.
Right. Of course.
I mean, maybe you should paint something or sing or dance, and we decide.
I'm wondering if it would help if he tried to do it really badly.
I think that doesn't count.
The PI looks at Joseph with a steely gaze. As a 1940s male stereotype, he could do none of those things.
That's also true. By definition, you can't do these things. I think I'm free.
Would you like to celebrate your new freedom with a cheap whiskey? And perhaps a drop of elephant piss?
You noticed a difference? Is your soul back already?
I don't know. How does it feel like? I mean, when I had no soul, I would have taken the whiskey and the elephant piss, without hesitation.
It does smell good.
Joseph orders 3. And 1 for the barkeep.
The barkeep says, "It's on the house. You deserve it."
This is a time of miracles and wonders. I mean, this is a very capitalist place. They even, have 99.99 bargains, and we get this for free. I think this is obviously a sign.
The barkeep says, "It's a good day. The devil pays well."
So the devil had a drink?
Ah, no. He just said that you would get whatever you wanted for free. He said you don't owe him anything for it.
Interesting.
Except maybe that I don't know why he said it. Joseph, is that one of you?
What do you mean?
That you should do as you agreed on.
Oh well, then I don't think I want the drink. And Frida pushes back her glass.
Oh, the barkeep says, "Oh, fine, I'll have 2."
I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe you can write a novel or something. That would count. That is very manly.
Probably a crime novel. Yeah.
The PI wonders, in this scenario, who would get the work of art? The PI or the monologue? The PI looks at the monologue, and the monologue doesn't look back because it doesn't have eyes.
The bartender says, "Why would someone write about crimes? People just read about romances these days."
Do they? Well, crime novels. I have a feeling they would be all the rage.
The PI is too far too cynical and jaded to think about love, and drinks the whiskey because even the devil can't outwit justice.
Is there an elephant in the room? Not a literal.
Yeah, the elephant is sitting in a corner, looking at you strangely. He takes a glass to his mouth and says, "I prefer it with pelican dreams."
I taste the whiskey. Which one is better?
Do you even remember what the pelican dreams tasted like?
Probably not. Much has happened.
Well, the elephant piss did not taste very well. But then
So-
it's cheap whiskey.
Yeah, Josip says, I agree.
The elephant walks out of the bar and makes a tooting sound with its snout or whatever. Trunk, yeah. So I think we cut the scene there, and I think I'm gonna give you all one scene each. Do whatever you want until like the final scene in the week when you meet the devil. So, does anyone have an idea for a scene they would like?
Can I have a montage?
Yeah.
So the montage is obviously the inside of the opera, and we see Hans Gustav and Ellie working together at the stage to prepare the stage. And we see Kasia and Greta von Eisenbach working on the music and the text. And I think maybe there's a couple of monkeys or people in monkey costumes, you never know. Or, monkeys in people costumes. It's all very confusing, but they are on the stage and, like rehearsing the choir. Yeah, so that's every day the stage gets more elaborate and the music comes together and the words.
Yeah, and I think you see. I definitely think like there is. I think you see outside the theater, there's a lot of, or the opera, there's a lot of people coming in. But I think you see like on the other side of the wall, you see it from the top of the wall. You see on the other side, there's a lot of monkeys coming in the door as they take off their human costumes to go and prepare the big story of the monkeys' revolution. What is the PI doing?
The PI has gone to the mechanical heart factory, taking a big fat wad of expenses notes. He buys the finest mechanical heart available. The PI has a plan.
Yeah, it's you even get I think it's actually your friend, the ginger hipster, who is apparently working at the factory to take it home for you. He's taking it in a wheelbarrow, and his name is Franz.
Why does it need to go in a wheelbarrow? The PI wonders, but not too much.
I think Franz is like looking up at you because it's very heavy, and you look at it in the wheelbarrow, and it is also pretty big. It's surprisingly how it could fit into a human, but apparently it does. I guess it's one of those things.
Do you not have a smaller one that could fit? Wonders the PI. In a trench coat.
Franz look up at you. I'm pretty sure this fits into a trench coat. There's not a lot of things that does not fit into a trench coat.
Okay, thanks to PI. Thanks, Franz, for his time. Puts the heart into his trench coat and lights a cigarette. He knows what it's for. I'll end my scene now.
Yeah, and what is Frida up to?
Well, Frida feels really bad about the monkeys in hell, and also about what that reminded her of Frank the monkey and how sad he was. She took her handkerchief back, and she tries to find him to at least give him back the handkerchief, and also maybe even find a way to help the monkeys with their revolution.
Yeah, I think you find Frank in the opera actually.
Oh.
He is sitting in the back of the orchestra, looking at the people working. He's wearing like a red vest with golden buttons, and like a Swiss Alp cap that's also red. It's almost like a beret, and he's looking, has this 1,000-year stare, looking up at the monkeys making the stage, and Joseph and the other artists that are practicing.
Well, I pull out the handkerchief and hold it up to him and say, well, maybe this could be useful. I think you might need this.
He looks up at you and says, "For what?"
Well, I was coming to tell you I didn't use your tears for any nefarious purposes. I didn't make money from them either. I wanted to give them back to you. And is there a seat beside him?
Yeah, there is.
And I sit down beside him and say, well, also, I was wondering if there's any way I could help the monkey's cause.
Yes. You can make them dream again.
Oh, the monkeys can't dream?
He looks over at you. Of course. Why wouldn't we be able to dream? It's just that when you're tired and you're working all around the clock to feed your family, you just sleep.
Oh, I see. Well, I think maybe I can do something about that. But I might need some bit of hair or something.
I think he gives you back the handkerchief.
Oh.
And says, I trust that you will do the right thing with this, Frida. This is a powerful dream.
Yes.
The dream of a monkey.
I understand. Thank you. And she takes the handkerchief and goes straight home into her laboratory.
Yeah, I think I wonder where we meet the devil. I think perhaps it must be in the opera. How does the opera look now, Joseph?
Well, I think so. The stage extends into the audience, and to the point where audience and stage is indistinguishable. Like there's chairs on the actual stage, but it's also the stage is extending into the even outside of the opera part of the stage can be seen. And everything is like geometrical, I think, and made from marble, and it's black and white. And there are machine parts, like a little bit like in Modern Times by Charlie Chaplin. And the choir and the musicians are inside and on top of these machine parts, all in monkey costumes.
What about this opera building or in this stage tells you that this is the most sublime piece of art that is ever going to be presented in Itras By, David?
Written on the flyers is the words "one-off grand gala for the most sublime piece of art ever to be created in Itras By."
The devil is sitting there when you arrive. He doesn't look much different, but there is something about him that tells you that this is a special occasion, Tina. What is it?
Sorry. The last.
The devil is sitting there when you come. He doesn't look much different, but there is something about him that lets you know it's a special occasion.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I think the devil has put on. He used to wear this gray coat and the gray suit, and this time he has put on a different suit, which is actually it is white and it has blue stripes all over, and he's wearing red socks and gloves.
Oh wow, this is a special occasion indeed. So you all, who is there first? You're there first, Joseph, or no? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Joseph is obviously, behind the stage, looking through the curtain and spotting the devil and looking anxiously for the PI and Frida.
Do you come together or separate?
I think Frida spend a lot of time at home making a lot of little vials of dreams. So maybe she comes pretty late. Not sure if the PI comes with her or is earlier.
PI will be there a little before showtime, and will go to find Joseph.
I think Frida is in after him. Hurrying.
Yeah.
So when Joseph spots the PI, he will wave him over.
PI pulls open his trench coat and pulls out mechanical heart.
How did this even fit under your trench coat? This is gigantic.
The PI shrugs and looks at Joseph and realizes he's figured out the loophole. When the devil got your soul, he took your heart, and you haven't played with passion since. All we need to do, thinks the PI, is fill it up. And he takes out his best bottle of bourbon from the hip flask and fills up the heart, and then passes the heart to Joseph. Play like you mean it, Joseph.
I shouldn't drink before the show, but I'm really nervous. And you think? And Joseph drinks it up.
As he does that, the PI shoves the mechanical heart into Joseph's chest.
You're muted.
Seems like I might require an action card.
For whom?
For the PI. To shove a mechanical heart.
Yes, and the character succeeds and achieves more than she expected, perhaps even a bit too much.
Yeah, I think. It just slots right in. Apparently, there was a big void left behind in Joseph's body. I think, Joseph, you're feeling a rush of emotions. It's almost numbing. All the things you're feeling. You see. I think the PI. You see Joseph's eyes water. What do you do, Joseph?
I think Joseph looks around as if he's seen his surrounding for the first time, like a newborn baby, and says, I completely forgot how beautiful this is. And he embraces the PI and whispers into his ear, "Are you sure you can't? Are you sure you're not talented in anything?"
The PI throws up the collar on his trench coat, lights a cigarette, and enigmatically walks away.
Of course.
I think we cut the scene there, and I think we see when you come in, Frida, you see the whole opera is filled with monkeys, except the devil who's sitting alone in the orchestra. They're all looking from the balconies down on the stage. The stage looks beautiful, and I think you see the artists walking on to perform.
Well, Frida is a bit out of breath, and she's carrying a big carpet bag that clinks softly in her hands, and puts it where she sits down and puts it on her knees expectantly. What is going to happen here?
What is going to happen, Joseph?
So when everybody has find their place in this gigantic opera hall or outside, the lights dim, and we see the shadows of dozens of monkeys in the machines, and Joseph is wedged into one machine, and he's wearing a beret and like a camouflage army jacket and trousers, and a red armband. And the music starts, and it is the most beautiful piece of music ever heard. And while from everywhere the monkeys crawl over these machines, there's a spotlight on Joseph, and he starts singing. And I don't know if there's like again something like a montage where we see the several stages of monkey exploitation in the big machine, and Joseph holding a Barclay's Leninist Bible in his hand and preaching to a small group of monkeys. And in the big finale, I think the monkeys all emerge from the machine, standing there between the audience from everywhere, and people have like small leaflets, and everybody, including the audience, sings the final verse, which is saying freedom for monkeykind, the revolution starts now.
Cool. And I just drew my first card of the game, which says chance card. The chance card says cutscene, jump forward 3 hours, describe what condition the characters find themselves in. You're not allowed to describe what happened in the meantime. And I think that's probably our last scene of this series, possibly. So, you want to have a small break before, or are you ready to do it?
I think like a 5 minutes break would be cool.
Cool. Let's be
Yeah.
there 1:45 then.
Okay.
We are back. It is 3 hours later, and we. Is there anyone who is wants to volunteer to go first? Where do you? What condition does the characters find themselves in? And not allowed to describe what happened in the meantime.
It's kind of difficult, I find, because by describing the situation I'm in now would implicitly describe what happened before, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's allowed though.
Well, I think Frida is I think she's still at the opera, but she is, I think, embracing Maud, who tells her, Frida, I didn't know you were on our side. I'm so glad. I've been on the revolutionist side all along, and it is good to have you by my side now. She says, as you're both looking over the audience of monkeys who are in large part blissfully dreaming and sleeping.
Yeah, and I think Maud looks over at you and says, "Yes, they all have dreams of their own now. They might not have taken them back themselves, but that doesn't matter."
But I think in time they will.
And she nods, and I think takes her arm and takes over your shoulder, if you allow her.
Yes, of course. Oh, it's so good to be together with you again, Maud. I've missed you. Will you come back home to mother and father?
I think she takes a deep breath and says, "I don't know. Would they have me?"
I'm sure they will. Although mother's job would possibly not work with our plans. So maybe we should find another place for the both of us.
She nods. Well, if you talk to mother, you were always the one that was good with that.
I will try.
And she I think you see she bites her lip together a little bit, but smiles. Well, I'm sure it's going to be okay then.
I think so. I would like that.
Cool. I think that's scene probably, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have a scene for the PI?
PI's in their office. Nothing has changed. It's black and white. No matter what time of day it is, the light just comes through the window, casting the blinds across the room. The PI picks up a glass of the bourbon, pours himself a glass and sits down, puts their feet on the table. And about 30 seconds later, the door opens and the next case comes in.
That scene then. Joseph?
However this ends, I think a good way to end the whole thing would be the PI walking into the fork or something mysteriously. But for Josip, I think he is again in this elongated room of Gustav. And Gustav and Josip are in bed, and both have like red swollen eyes. And Josip says, "I'll never leave you again."
I think Hans Gustav like rolls over to face you and says, "I don't think you can. My heart won't take it. I mean, last time I turned into a monkey. Who knows what will happen next time?" And he like sniffs, and then like for like a very short time looks at you with his like big brown eyes, and then like goes in to give you like this giant hug. "Oh, I missed you so much."
I missed you too. I didn't know it because I had no heart.
And I think that's probably seen. Well, that was Itras By.
So many reunions.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Will the monkeys get a union at least? That's the question.
I don't know. That's maybe for the next season. Yeah. I really like this this mini campaign. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a lot of fun to play with you, so thank you all for that.
Seconded.
Yeah. Agree.
I feel almost like a little empty. I'm done with this like story in a way. It's very satisfying. I don't usually play. I don't play a lot of campaigns these days, and they're definitely not as where I feel like I think almost everything that happened in these 3 sessions were like felt meaningful in a lot of ways. I really, really liked it. It's definitely one of my highlights of this role-playing year for me.
Woohoo! That was good. It's been awesome playing. It's a really nice group that have just lent into each other and built on each other's stories as well, which is always lovely.
Yeah, I feel like the Frida's story and the maze still remains a mystery.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not even sure if the mace is still on my arm.
Who knows?
Well, that is true. But actually, we will see. We will play some Archipelago, some of us, in April, and I have found that these kind of like games that throws out leads everywhere, they very seldomly closes all of the things they open.
Yeah.
But at least we got to see it. Like we got into the maze in the end, but we didn't really know. We didn't find the Monkey King there, so
Yeah, I don't mind. It leaves some mystery. That's nice.
Yeah, maybe for the season 2.
Yeah.
The Union and the Monkey King.
Exactly.
Yeah, I enjoyed the 3 sessions as well, and I think it was really a cool experience to playing Itras By for the first time. And I think this is like definitely the best group I played this year with. So thanks to my fellow players.
Clap for us.
Hooray! Roses
Hooray.
for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's the short summary of it. I don't think, I'm not sure if I need to give more roses than that. It was a great group. You all were very into. Yeah, it was great, and I think it was a good game because of that. Also, the game is a good game, I think, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like this, I think.
I find it so hard to host as a game, and so I played it to see like was it just that group, but it was just that group. That this is played so much fun. Yeah. Though speaking in third person is great. I am not doing that again.
Yeah, off the bucket list. Never again. Is there anyone who has anything else they'd like to say before we finish?
No.
Well, I just really feel like running Itras By soon for my group of friends face to face. I just got the book a few weeks ago, and this is really with my appetite to run it for them. I think they'd like it.
Yeah. My goal at the start of this was a little bit to, because this is a game and a place that I know very well from playing with, among other people, the creators of the game. Actually, like I crowdsourced the devil description on the Norwegian RPG forum, and the description that I used is actually from one of the authors.
Really reminded me of I don't know if outside of Germany Momo is not the meme, not the bird face, but by Michael Ende.
Yeah.
That reminded me of the gray man or whatever they're called.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm.
So I am very happy that if you want to run it afterwards. I think like this really conveys like the style I have played with them with, which can sometimes be a little difficult to transmit through text, and I don't think they did as good of a job as they could have with that when they wrote the game originally. At least I don't know about the German version. I think they did some changes as well, but this is definitely like the way I feel like the vibe of the game is and how it is supposed to be played, as I understand it from the creator's vision. So yeah, so that was satisfying to be able to do that.
Awesome.
Okay, I think we're all we're ended.
Okay.
Thanks again for playing Itras By with me. I'm gonna live on this for a little bit. Can enjoy it. I can have some bad sessions and still be okay with playing games for a while now. So thank you all, and have a good night. I hope to see you again soon on the Gauntlets.
Yeah, definitely hope to see you guys in a game soon.
Absolutely. See you, folks. Bye.
Bye.